I have a very tiny ecosystem that I feel very connected with. It comprises of my husband, my children, and a dog in my fantasy.
In your fantasy. Nurturing emotional stability by empowering individuals so that they understand, digest, and actually express their emotions authentically. Well, that's not just a job, but a passion with which my guest leads her world. A parenting coach, facilitator, therapist, and a newly turned author of the book Parenting Pickles and Popsicles, I welcome today Shivangi Manyar. Spilling the beans, Shivangi today takes us to her journey of evolution while telling us what it takes to really heal the inner child. So, without much ado, let's welcome Shivangi. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being that unstoppable human that you are. And
Oh,
thanks for doing the work that you are doing and creating for this world. Welcome to Unbound.
thank you.
So, shuru se shuru kare?
Bilkul.
Tell us about yourself, Shivangi.
Okay, so at the risk of sounding a little arrogant, let me talk about myself first.
Absolutely. Lights here,
uh,
camera here, action here.
uh, the world knows me as an emotions coach and a parenting coach, and the name of my company is Otlo. Otlo is a Gujarati word.
Oh,
Yeah, and I would like to tell you what it means.
oh, very nice.
So in Gujarat, every house has a courtyard,
Oh.
and in front of the house in the evenings, um, uncles would be tinkering with their scooters, mothers would be cutting vegetables, kids are playing around.
Hmm.
Everybody gathers around during the evening time and
Hmm.
chit chats from the safety of their own homes, right?
Yeah.
And for me, Otlo is that connect. It's fine to go out into the world, explore, experiment, meet people,
Hmm.
be in action. But दिन में एक time ऐसा होना चाहिए when you just come back to yourself. For me,
Hmm.
that is Otlo.
Wow.
So that's the connect between the external world and the internal world.
Okay.
So that's Otlo.
Beautiful. Very
Yeah,
well, very
yeah.
well said, explained, and
Yeah.
conceptualized.
Yeah.
It's been quite an inquiry for me now that I've known you for a couple of
I
years.
know.
That yeah, मुझे लगता था ये किसी चीज का acronym है. So it's like a Gujarati word.
It's a Gujarati word.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you really speak it? Like
Otlo.
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 So say a sentence using Otlo.
હવે આપણે ઓટલો પર બેસીને વાતો કરીએ.
Whoa. So, welcome to the show once
Thank you.
again.
Thank
It's been an honor knowing you. It's been an honor to be a part in whatever little way of the journey, of the
Yeah.
experience that you create for others. My direct question to you: why parents? Why coaching? Why choosing to be where you are? And how did this journey really unfold for you?
Shall I tell you a story?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, when I was a young mother, I'm talking about the time when my eldest daughter was just 1.5 years old.
Okay.
And we were alone in the house, the two of us. And I was in the kitchen cooking for my daughter, and she was upstairs in the bathtub enjoying herself, right?
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, I hear a scream.
Okay.
I rushed up upstairs, and while I was in that process, I was so nervous. I was thinking about multiple possibilities and what I would do. And when I reached there, she was smiling. She was giggling. It was a squeal of joy. It was not a scream. And at that moment, I realized, आज तो मैं पास हूँ, तो मैं पहुँच गई. What if one day she's too far away, geographically or metaphorically? What if she is I'm no longer the center of her universe? What if she needs me at that time? Who is going to be her emotional anchor?
Hmm.
And at that point of time, I realized that she herself has to be her own safety zone. She has to be her own safety space. So I started doing life skills trainings for children.
Okay.
And we saw progress, definitely. Children started opening up to their parents. And then I realized that it is the parents who need the work. It's the parents who need that kind of hand holding, that kind of comfort, that while they've been put into a role, they've been cast into a role which is extremely mind numbingly clerical, as well as it is a high pressure job.
You're talking about parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There is a way out. There is a way we can navigate this.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be all gloom and doom. There is
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So that's when I started working with parents to bridge that gap, to bridge the gap between the child and the parent. And communication is the key.
Yeah.
So that's where the story started
Wow.
dropping in.
Wow.
And yeah.
So like the creator of your own destiny, the author of your own script, of course, you've been the teller of this story, and a beautiful one at that. But
Thank you.
before I really deep dive into it, and as you were speaking, many thoughts have run my head already, but I would still like to know, just for the purpose of an introduction, that who is Shivangi?
Okay. I believe that I'm somebody extremely soft. Um, I have a very tiny ecosystem that I feel very connected with. It comprises of my husband, my children, and a dog in my fantasy.
In your fantasy? A mother can't have it all. Yeah.
I'm somebody who enjoys my own company, and it gives me a lot of power when I see the spark of transformation in someone's eyes.
Mhm.
That's the reason I can get out of bed every morning and do the work that I'm doing.
Is that your introduction?
Who else am I? That's it.
I think that's really, really being very modest. Of course, for the purpose of an introduction, Shivangi, as all our guests are, is an unstoppable human who's doing fantastic transformative work with parents and children through her coaching, mentoring, guiding. And she's also recently turned an
Yeah,
author.
I
So
know.
she is quite a decorated author, because her quirk and her one liners are easy, interesting. And I think for a non-initiator or an uninitiated ones, one can really lap up the book. So tell me, शुरू से तो ये कभी क्लियर नहीं होता है कि हम कोई पेरेंट कोच बनने वाले हैं. I understand your motherhood journey being a nudge to that direction.
Yes.
But while growing up as a child, how did you see yourself, and what were your dreams and aspirations really back then?
Oh, you have hit the nail on the head. This is a session in itself now. Okay. I lost my father when I
Okay.
was 5, and I have been told that I was the apple of his eyes.
Mhm.
Uh, my mother was a homemaker, and overnight, our lives took a very steep curve. She picked up a job, a full time job, and she was the one who would cook 3 meals, do the laundry, um, manage the social niceties, and still make time for me. I
Okay.
still remember her saying, if there's anything in your heart that you need to tell me, I'll wake you up at 5 o'clock and we'll have a chat. And I
Okay.
remember she would sit with her cup of tea and I would sit with my glass of milk.
At 5 a.m.?
Yes, because that was the only time when she had the bandwidth to not do and just be with me. And that has been, it was like an oasis for me at that time. I had teenage sisters, and for them, it was a brutal shock. The death of my father was a brutal shock.
Yeah.
And everybody had their own defense mechanism. And I was too young to understand. And I think that was when the sculpting began. My inner sculpting began at that time. That is why parent sensitization is my mission in life. Because I truly believe that life's going to throw you shocks. And not everyone around you is equipped
Yeah.
And not everyone has the luxury of having a therapist around.
Absolutely.
So, somewhere we need to empower ourselves in a way that we can fill the gaps in our own lives. And at that point of time, I was a convent student as well. So,
Hmm.
school was a. I used to feel quite annoyed at the level of discipline imposed
Hmm.
on us,
Hmm.
and it did curtail my freedom to a certain extent.
Hmm.
Um,
To be the child that you wanted to be.
absolutely, absolutely. All I was concerned was about the butterflies in the garden, and I had to focus on maths. It was so totally unfair, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is what started my journey, and I didn't know it at the time that I was being guided to what can be rather than what is. And since I have been through this route, I can empathize with parents
Yeah.
who cannot offer themselves completely to their children. I understand where they're
Yeah.
coming from
Yeah.
because I myself was a victim of that space at
Yeah.
that time. Having said that, there were some moments of pure inspiration that have led me on this journey. The fact that my mother was up at night working on her taxes while ensuring that I am ready for my dictation tests,
Yeah.
while ensuring that the check that needs to be deposited tomorrow is
Yeah.
ready and
Yeah.
sealed and kept ready.
Yeah.
My sisters would end up doing projects for me, with me.
How many of you, like siblings?
Three sisters,
Oh,
total three
three
sisters,
sisters.
and they
Okay.
were teenagers.
Both of them.
Yeah. So teenagers, I mean, it's a chaos, emotional chaos for them, as it is biologically, because teenagehood is a space in
And
life.
where were you growing up, if I may ask? Like which
Yeah.
part of the country were you
So we
in?
were in West Delhi
Okay.
and comfortably settled.
Okay.
But it was a double whammy for my
Yeah.
sisters
Yeah.
because not only were they teenagers,
Yeah.
but they also had to deal with this shock.
Yeah.
And you know, you have to stay with a particular emotion for a very long time before it truly sinks in.
Yeah.
So they stayed with the grief and it manifested as anger. And it
Certainly.
was not anger at me or the world, it was anger at the destiny, at what destiny had given to them.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah, a very, very, I think, crucial time in my life. That entire decade, it made me turn inward and it made me very sensitive,
Hmm.
and and it made me hungry for answers.
Hmm.
I knew that, see, this couldn't be it. There had
Yeah.
to be something more.
Yeah.
And for my mother, spirituality was a huge anchor. And I think I got it as a legacy.
Okay.
And this surrender on the universe is what drove me. And what I do is just a reflection of that comfort
Yeah.
that I have within me.
Yeah. There we go. Like we never plan our
I know.
episodes, and you know how the beauty is that how it just unfolds on its
Yeah.
own, and so that leads me to many questions. With your permission,
Yes.
um, loss of a parent, a very very big emotional support. Just it's like almost like the ground beneath your feet gets taken away at such a young age. One, how did you process it? Second, in whatever that childly way, and then as growing up as a teenager, and then as an adult. And is that child really healed inside you?
Hmm. That's a very profound question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me this. I don't think ever I have asked myself this. So, wow. Um, this is how it unfolded, okay? And I'll
Hmm.
tell you as a story. I wake up and it's not in my own home.
Uh,
It's not my bed.
okay.
And I look around and there's nobody around me. And I open the door and I see that I'm in my neighbor's house.
Okay.
And these are not our regular neighbors, these are neighbors who stay quite away from my home.
Okay.
And my first question is, where is mom? And they say, okay, okay, we'll take you to her. And they give me a new toothbrush and they give me a nice toothpaste. I brush my teeth and I'm led downstairs. And there's a huge crowd in front of my house. And I hear sounds coming from my house. And I walk in.
Okay.
And there I see my father sleeping on the floor with a white sheet around him, on him.
This is vivid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my there's some kind uncle who just guides me, and he holds my hands and helps me touch my father's feet. And then I see my mother crying loudly at a distance,
Hmm.
surrounded by so many women.
Yeah.
And
This is
this
the
is
first sight in the morning.
absolutely. And this is somebody who's always very calm, always has a very gentle smile on her face. To see her so
Breakdown.
broken,
Yeah.
so shattered. And that's when I start crying. Then I'm gently guided away to a friend's place where I stay for 3-4 days. And I forget everything. And then I come back.
You forget
I
everything.
forget everything. I have no recollection of. I did not even ask for my mother for those 4 days because my best friend was with me.
Well, also, the shock has numbed you.
Maybe, maybe, quite possible.
Yeah.
But I don't recall telling them I want to go home. I would just look at my house from a distance and I would go back to playing. And then one day I went back and everything seemed normal. And then I saw my father's trousers. They had just come back from the laundry. And I told my mom, these are Papa's pants. And you told them, I know Auntie told me that he's gone to God. Can I go and give it to him? What will he do without his pants there? And my mom is in shock. Um, my mother still tells me that there are moments when, as a family, we were all ready to break down together. But I would come hopping into the room and I would giggle and I would laugh or I would say something funny. And in order to protect me emotionally, they
They
would
would
cover
just,
up.
yeah.
And she sincerely believes that this is how we got through that time.
Really?
Yes.
Your innocence, your
Yes.
childhood
Yes.
pulled them through.
Yes. They were doing it for me. And I think subconsciously I was doing it for them. So it was a very um, tough space for them to
Mm.
control their feelings, to not express it as they would like.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mother still cannot cry because
Yeah.
she says, I had so much on my plate, I had so much to do. There was
Mm.
no time to allow the tears to be. And to answer your second question, the processing happened while the trauma was still being inflicted.
Mm.
I'm playing with my friends,
Yeah.
and it's dusk, and the fathers, they start coming
Coming
in.
back home. Yeah.
And one by one, all of my friends says, okay, bye, I'm going with my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm left alone. The processing is happening simultaneously while the trauma is being, it's still sinking in.
Yeah.
Um,
Then how are you preparing yourself in those moments, Shivangi? And
I
how are you
was,
not looking at it in the eye?
for me, life was important because I was a child. There was always so much to do. There was something to draw, something to read, something to dance on. That this became a fact of life. Let me be very, very courageous here and tell you something.
Mm.
I would often use this phrase to gain sympathy with people. I don't have a father. And they would say, oh, do you have a brother? I said, no brother, only 2 sisters. I would do that. And I did that in my innocence. Because truly, um, it is now after being a mother,
Yeah.
and after seeing my children play with my husband,
Yeah.
and after seeing him coach them and guide them, I know, oh my God, I
This
missed
is what I
this.
missed.
I missed this. And I still miss that. And now I've become very clever. So now I reach out to my father in whichever realm he is, and I say, okay, fine, show me the way. And now I'm being over demanding because I have to catch up on lost time. So I tell him, okay, fine, do I jump in here or do I hold on? It's very hard uh, for me to um, explain it in words,
Yeah.
but it is there. It's a very strong masculine presence which says, okay, fine, we got you. We got your back. You don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah.
You just keep doing what you do.
But how did you? So again, so I asked you this question in three parts, right?
Yeah.
How did you find and wriggle or braved your ways in adulthood?
I have a theory, and I'd like to share it with you, and we can explore it together. Let's for a moment not look at this from the point of view of reality. Let's go beyond reality. Sounds intriguing?
Hmm.
Okay. Maybe when I was born, I was meant to learn the lesson
Yeah.
of what it is to be a masculine energy. Me.
Okay.
What is it to take decisions? What is it to take a stand? What is it to feel lonely and scared and not share it with the world and yet sit and contemplate and find solutions
On your own.
on your own? Maybe that's why I got a mother who was always firefighting. Maybe that's why I have found a lot of closure now, because now I am standing up in my own space, taking those decisions which ordinarily,
Yeah.
since childhood, I would have been conditioned
Yeah.
to delegate it to my father.
Yeah.
So that is why I have a very strong feeling that the processing is happening now, because now I think now I'm enjoying that balance. There are times when I can just let loose, surrender to the universe. And then there are times when I just take the horse by the reins and I'm like, okay, fine, I got this. I'm going to crack this myself.
Hmm.
And I'm going to take help and I'm going to reach out to people. But then this is going to be my decision. I take ownership.
Yeah.
So that is the reason I am very confident that yes, there is definitely some level of progress that has happened.
Yeah. When you are so impressionable, what gave you that authority on yourself that I can and I will? Or was it just that you were intuitively connected to something?
I was all float Sam. I was all float Sam. I had no emotional anchor. I was a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I was always apologizing and over apologizing. I would always compliment people. Whatever happens, I mean, anything to save me from a conflict.
Yeah.
And that was the theme of my life for the longest time. You're taking out all of my secrets, Mamta. Carefully hidden.
Yeah.
And I would always like to align myself to the most powerful person in the room,
Okay.
so that so that I could feel safe, so
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
could feel
Anchored.
protective. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think at some point of time, I just stopped needing to do that, because somewhere I think I was very sure that spirituality has all the answers, even the ones that I don't receive
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
I got that confidence from my mother, and my own life circumstances were such that I was cornered till I don't give up and say, okay, fine, there has to be
Yeah.
another alternative magical way
Yeah.
to navigate
There's
life.
another plan to
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because in the humdrum of life,
Hmm.
when life is happening to us, mostly we like to believe that it's not happening for me, but it's just happening to me. Talk. This has happened. That has happened today. This didn't happen. That didn't go well. It's very, very difficult, even after years
Yeah.
of going through life,
Yeah.
to really sit back and say कि मेरे control में नहीं है ये यार.
बिल्कुल ये लग्जरी है, ये बहुत बड़ी लग्जरी है, to be able to sit and process and say, okay, fine, maybe there's somebody else who's driving the car. It's a huge,
what
huge luxury.
what was that tipping point for you? When did that really, like you can say tangibly, मैं वहाँ थी और फिर मैं यहाँ आ गई? Is there any circumstance that appeared, or was there any chance encounter or some influence that came to you? Any book that you read? Some eureka moment?
So I have been led by life circumstances most of the time. But I think there was this one phase of my life um, when nothing was working out. So I think I gave my CA exams for almost half a decade.
Really?
Yes. I started doubting my own intelligence. And then I seriously started doubting the competence of the institute itself. I mean, I was like, if I cannot clear, maybe there's something definitely wrong with the system. And from that space of ego, I think I was constantly outnumbered by life events till the time I did not sit in a corner and face that reality that maybe I'm not meant to go on this direction.
Oh, wow.
And even now, whenever I'm stuck at an impasse, I'm like, I wish I could have some direction, some guidance to go about it. And then once I get a green signal from within, then the structure, the
Yeah.
force, it just sort of flows.
Yeah. Follows.
But if you're talking about a certain moment, truly miracles happened when I decided I'm ready to forgive everything and everybody in my life. That was the aha moment, irrespective of what they did and how they did.
So, who coached the coach?
Okay. So
You want to acknowledge?
I think I think everybody was coaching me. I was just blind. Now that you say, I'm realizing everybody in my circle, in my innermost orbit also, in my school life, in my college life, everybody was screaming on my face, wake up. And I was blind to all of that in so many different ways.
Give me some examples. Mom?
Of course, the source,
Hmm.
um, the teacher who slapped me on the first day of school, um, the teacher who warmly put her arms around me and calmed me down, the neighbor who raised her eyebrows at me because I was a 7-year-old who would often forget the home keys, and she would have to house me till my mother would come home. Um, the fruit seller who tried to cheat me the first time. Uh, the clerk at the post office who tried to hold my hand while accepting a parcel. They were all trying to wake me up to being so alive to life, to being so vibrant, so readily available to take action and not to let passively life walk me by.
Yeah.
What I did was, the mistake I did was, I was so focused on what was not working in my life that I became very numb to all that was happening around me.
Yeah.
And all of this was waking me up. And I didn't realize it. I just realized it now when you talk to me. So, yeah.
So, very subliminally, we are very ungrateful to all that is happening to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the life is giving you those pinches and
Yeah.
nudges that
Yes.
wake up,
Yes.
see, look at me,
Yes.
accept
Yes.
me, embrace
Yes.
me,
Yes.
allow me.
And we get so involved in the language of it and the vibe of it that we forget that there's a lesson to be learned. And then once you've done with it, you can move on. And I think, yeah.
Is this your soul's consciousness and awakening to be there for all those unhealed children? Because each one of us is one. and to be so becoming, like you're becoming of a parent coach is where I'm getting to. That is this a kind of a payback that you're making to life, that this is what I miss out on and I want to be that space for that hurt, pain, trauma, anger, resentment, or whatever that is for those people, and I don't want them to be floating like
Okay, so let's not call them unhealed. Let's call them work in progress.
work in progress. Whip.
Whip.
Yeah.
And I'm not that powerful. I'm
Hmm.
not that powerful. I'm not that all encompassing, compassionate human being who can hold everybody. Um, what I can do is I can try to hold myself. And in this space, if somebody who's hungry for
Hmm.
growth gets inspired, then it is totally my honor. Um, but it might be very egoistic or very arrogant to assume that I alone can handle someone's life story, someone's
Yeah.
pain.
But
Um,
there's still some, some sort of purpose to choosing what you have chosen in life, right?
my life purpose is to just have fun.
I think the child is just, always bouncing in your
True,
energy.
true.
Yeah.
But I get your question. I
Yeah.
understand your question, and I would like to say that I don't know anything else. मुझे और कुछ आता नहीं है. किसी को सुनना, किसी को प्यार करना और पीठ थपथपा के बोलना कि चलो कोई बात नहीं, जब जागो तब सवेरा, अब से कोशिश करना, जितना हो उतना करना, रुक जाओ ठीक है, पॉज ले लो ठीक है, ब्रेक डाउन हो जाए कोई बात नहीं, जस्ट कीप एट इट. एक दिन नहीं हुआ, 2 दिन नहीं हुआ, कभी तो होगा ना. बस तुम चलो, यू आर ऑन द राइट ट्रैक, तुम कर सकते हो. तुम नहीं करोगे तो कौन करेगा. बस इतना प्यार दे सकती हूँ, इतना एनकरेजमेंट दे सकती हूँ, और कुछ आता नहीं है
पर
मुझे.
ये प्यार आता कहाँ से है? इसका सोर्स क्या है? आई सी people getting angry, resentful, depressed, so many times losing their own sense of being. How have you filled yourself up?
2 टाइप के पेरेंट्स होते हैं. देयर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ पेरेंट्स, अ गुड पेरेंट एंड अ टायर्ड पेरेंट. ये सब जो इमोशनल अपहीवल्स में फंसे हुए हैं ना, सबके दिल टूटे हुए हैं. दे आर ऑल ब्रोकन फ्रॉम इनसाइड, इंक्लूडिंग मी. इंक्लूडिंग मी. सब गम खाए हुए हैं.
Hmm.
So when a client comes to me and opens up to me, एक तो उनका ट्रस्ट, जब मैं देखती हूँ कि हाउ मच दे ट्रस्ट मी, दे आर रेडी टू शेयर द लाइफ स्टोरी इन वन सिंगल शॉट,
Yeah.
मैं वहीं गदगद हो जाती हूँ.
Hmm.
Then when we have a conversation after that, when they are comfortable being vulnerable with me,
Hmm.
and then when I see that hunger,
Hmm.
that I'm in a mess, help me out,
Yeah.
that also overwhelms me often. It's a very
Yeah.
emotional space for me. You talk about life purpose, I don't understand that. What I understand is that at that moment I can only see how much they could use some support.
Hmm.
And even if I'm not at my personal best,
Hmm.
I think I can be that temporary life aid for them.
Hmm.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for me, but I think it's harder for them. Because to open up to someone, to peel out your entire life story, it just happened with me today. It can be hard.
Hmm.
And yet, people have that hope that अगर मैंने यहाँ पे अपनी कहानी बता दी तो शायद कुछ हो जाए,
कुछ
कुछ
solution
मिल
मिल
जाए.
जाएगा. Yeah. But I still would like to root back to the question. जब खुद ने इतना कुछ देखा है, तो खुद को कैसे इंस्पायर किया है कि अपने लिए तो पता नहीं कितना, पर दूसरे के लिए मैं ये करना चाहूंगी?
मैं दूसरों के लिए तभी कर सकती हूँ जब मैंने अपने लिए किया है. You can only pour from a full cup.
Yeah, so that's what my question is, that what is the source of that cup? Where is it coming from? How are you filling it? How are you allowing it? Has someone played that part in your life?
Right. So I sit cross-legged every day and I beg for mercy. I beg for mercy for myself and my people. That's as simple as it gets. Um,
इस दुनिया के लिए ये बहुत मेटाफोरिकल है शिवांगी.
I'm trying to put it in words, and which
बिकॉज
is
इंसान, हम लोग ऑल द टाइम इस लेवल पे ऑपरेट नहीं कर रहे हैं. हम अपने फियर्स, अपने डाउट्स, अपने पास्ट, अपनी रिजेंटमेंट, लाइक आई सेड अर्लियर, एंड हम हमेशा फॉरगिविंग या फॉरगिवन स्टेट में नहीं होते हैं. तो व्हाट इज दैट दैट कीप reassuring you or reinstating you in your balance is what I'm interested to know. Or has someone really played that part so well in your life that it has become like transparent to you कि वो मैं हूँ और मैं वो हूँ, you know?
I hear you. I hear you. And again, a great question. I plod on. I do what needs to be done when I'm low. I become very clinical then.
तो कुछ मैकेनिज्म फाइंड किया आपने अपने लिए ना?
I go through the process.
Process,
Go
yeah.
through the regular process of it.
Say that. Tell
Yeah,
us, what is
yeah.
that process?
So the process is
You're
nothing.
hurt, you're feeling hurt,
Mm,
you're angry, you're
Mm.
resentful.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right. So the first thing that I have started doing is movement, because a lot of our trauma is stored in the body. So when somebody hurts you and you're emotionally stuck, one of the things that I do is I immediately start moving. I either dance or I get into a yoga asana and I stay there for a while and I breathe as consciously as I can for the longest time. Not everybody has that kind of luxury.
Luxury, yeah.
But I have seen that the the great thing about our mechanism, our body mechanism, is that you can always pick out a moment later in the day or even after a week and sit and process that pain, because the pain doesn't go anywhere, right?
Oh, you mean once you will go back in that whole situation in your head, the pain will
Yeah.
also come back with that
Absolutely,
magnanimity
absolutely,
and
absolutely. आप याद करो.
yeah,
जब
that's
आप
true.
छोटे
When
थे-
you're I think this is what happens, and I have now detached myself from doing this, but I do see people get that they keep repeating an event in their head when
Yeah.
they keep talking and expressing it to different people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
आप याद करो, जो आप 9 years के थे
Yeah.
और आपके मार्क्स नहीं आए और
Yeah.
आपने घर पे आके बोला, मम्मी ने घूर के देखा, पापा ने चिल्ला दिया, टीचर ने बेंच पे खड़ा करा दिया. Where did that pain go? That pain is still in you, and that is dormant in you. And the day you set up to do something huge in your life, all those doubts and insecurities are going to come running at full speed, right? So it's important that we sanitize ourselves from all of that, right? So what I do is, say I'd had a bad experience in the morning.
Yeah.
I go back whenever I have the time. I sit cross-legged. I relive that incident over and over and over again.
You do?
Yeah, but with a lot of mindfulness. If I don't do it with a deep breath, then I'm adding to the clutter in my mind. I'm adding more poison into that situation. I'm then putting ideas and thoughts, I'm hypothesizing even further, which then it's a concoction, then it's really risky. But if I can sit back and mindfully relive that situation over and over and over again, that's after a certain time, I will look at that situation in my head and not feel a thing, because I've already mindfully erased it from my psychic impressions. It's worked for me. And
But this is a training.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a process. It just, and it's very funny. There are times when I sit and all of a sudden in my memory something bubbles up from 7 years ago
Yeah.
and there's no context. And I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And it's been patiently waiting.
Yeah.
So when you sit with those feelings, it's sometimes very overwhelming. It's sometimes very intrusive.
Hmm.
Why did we start talking about my father?
Hmm.
It was a memory waiting. It was
Yeah.
looking for a resolution.
Yeah.
Something within me wanted that closure for
Yeah,
myself.
absolutely.
So, and that is why this opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's definitely there.
Yeah.
It's definitely
So from that space to training yourself to coming where you have today, it's a long journey, a lot of work, and you still say that everything is in process. So I'm assuming you are applying that to yourself also. But ऐसे कैसे हो जाता है जो metamorphosis होता है from being that shy, I don't know, I don't want to call you shy, but someone who's introvert or internally driven, to now coming with this surge of ideas, thoughts, wants, desires to give it to the world. From taking and soaking it all in to now wanting to give it all. Like, how has this transformation or change
I
happened?
think I got supremely lucky.
Yeah.
Staying in your own world has its advantages.
Hmm.
That your mind starts churning out ideas and thoughts, and since one doesn't verbalize it much, it gets enough room to develop on its own.
Yeah.
Um,
See, there's a lot of conversation. I'm sorry to cut you, but there's a lot of conversation on introverts today.
yeah,
There's a lot of conversation today on highly sensitive people,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So I would want you to throw some
Yeah.
light in each of these.
Yeah, so I totally agree. There's introverts are now considered to be the real rulers,
Yeah.
and I think if you can just relate to what I said a little while earlier, there has to be a balance.
Hmm.
And I still remember my publisher. She's very kind, Samira. She told me, Shivangi, a, just writing a book is not enough. Even I think you said
True.
that too.
Yes.
Writing a book is not enough. You have to बच्चा कराए तो उसको
A
पालना भी
birth,
पड़ता है. And I
you
was like,
birth the
okay.
child. Yeah. You birth the child. Now you have to give it
Yeah,
its
yeah,
ground
yeah,
and take it around. Yeah.
yeah. And in fact, in our last conversation, you also said, what if somebody picks up this book 10 years later and says, wish I had read this earlier?
Yes.
So it is only the comfort of being a support to another that can propel me out of my shell.
Okay.
So if it needs to be done, then it needs to be done. And then my personal bias does not hold any value.
Hmm.
इतनी बड़ी नहीं हूं मैं,
Hmm.
तो कहीं पे ये जो डिजाइन है
Hmm.
उसमें अलाइन करके चलने की जरूरत है. And that is where I bow down. And that is where I will not like to bring in my eye, because
Yeah.
then it sort of becomes
Very, very beautifully
counterproductive.
said and very well, sort of captured in such little words that you have chosen. But I 100% completely agree to it, especially because I just had a session yesterday on the same aspect of life, that how deeply and how intertwined we become to the work that we are meant to do, that we think that we are the one who are the doer, how while that work just has to happen through you.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So you feel you're the chosen one?
Ah, I like to think so. But I think everybody brings something to the table.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's a chosen one.
absolutely. And everybody wants to contribute. It's like
Yes.
a child. Everybody wants to be at the big table making decisions. We all bring our unique capabilities, and I think we all have a creative license. How to use our gifts is totally up to us. That freedom has been given to us.
Yeah, you have a way with words, girl. How did this expression come into your life? It's quite a way that you, like the first time I remember we had our session, and after that, when you sent me that note, like a summary and some key points to it, voila, I was smitten. I was
Yeah.
like, this is, who's writing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's writing this, Shivangi? Who's saying this?
So,
Creative license?
I think that's all we have to play around. And I think whenever a client approaches me, frankly, Mamta, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. But there's this very strong urge that this person needs to get some comfort.
Yeah, contribution. I want to make a
I
contribution.
want to, yeah.
Contribute
Yeah.
to the journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and I try and shut up so that I look very wise. But in my head, I'm like, God, what do I say next?
But you are completely in that space of listening, Shivangi. I've not had that experience with you
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like, I think after my few sessions, you know, I mean, judgments, और वो तो बहुत बात की बात है. And I am never look on, as from a client's perspective, if I have to say it, then I was not at all doubting, is she really listening to me?
Yeah. Again, Mamta, that is all I know. To listen with my ears and my heart, because I don't know. Maybe there's a story somewhere.
Yeah.
And I just want to pick that up. It's very precious for me, because just like my story has a very strong personal cost, so does yours, and so does everybody. I do not know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And I want to catch all the jewels and hold them close, because even my self development depends on
Yeah.
these stories. That's where I learn from. Um, and as I was saying, this urge to help but not know how to help, you've I'm sure you know about that squirrel in Ramayan. The squirrel wants to help, and she's desperate to help, you know. She just wants to do something big. But
She's a squirrel.
she's a squirrel, and we have these huge monkey men doing all the real work. So what did she do? Said, okay, this is my capability and this is what I'm going to do. And she gets patted on the head for that. That's the lines. That's where you see the lines of the squirrel, right? On her back. I am that squirrel. I'm not here to change anyone's life. That's a very huge call. No way. I can just be there while you are living your life, and I can just allow you to vent for a while, and I can allow you to crib for a while and cry for a while. And then all I can say is, great, good job. Keep at it.
So who's your listener, Shivangi? Because I'm sure inside you are that mother, you are that wife, you are that woman. Where do you go to be heard, really?
So it will be very surprising, but I have two therapists.
Oh.
One is a 9-year-old and the other is a 13-year-old.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah. And free advice bhi milti hai.
Pay bhi nahi karna padta.
And I get a hug and a kiss too. So
Oh,
I'm
so
very lucky
sweet.
that way.
So sweet.
As a
So you are a
coach-
learner from, like, you're a learner of
Totally.
life.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Life is your institute.
Totally. And that's beautiful. And as a coach, there are times when I am very clear with the parents that, be kind to yourself, and following that, be kind to your child. And I would come up from that session feeling smart and bright and beautiful. And then I would see
Go
something
back to
silly,
your own life.
and I would see something silly and
Mess in the room.
Yes, and I would be like, "Come here, we need to have a talk." And the elegance would vanish off in a second. In a second,
The
And I
mask
was
will
like,
drop.
Like, oh my god, yeah. And the real Shivangi would come out to play, and And that's where I believe that my children are so empathetic.
And they're also balancing force, right? They keep you
Absolutely.
on the ground. They
Absolutely.
test your nerves all the time.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. So I think my children are so empathetic that when I show my heavy or dark side to them, they don't answer back with another dark side.
Hmm.
They show me there's a better way of
Yeah.
handling this,
Yeah.
mom. Um, when
Be a
I'm,
little gracious.
yeah, be nice to us.
Be
I'm not
nice.
a client, but still. So,
I'm your coach.
yeah. So very sweetly, they
Yeah.
tell me, okay, I can see you are not calming down, but I'll calm down enough for you.
Really?
Yeah.
This is their words?
This is the vibe.
This is the vibe.
They will hold my space.
Give me an example.
N number of them. My
Give us
goodness.
one.
Oh dear Lord.
Personal
That's another
anecdotes.
book. That's another book.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we do have this book for that, for sure. And we are going to come to that very shortly.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So
yeah.
early morning rush. Let's talk about that.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I
you and your
know.
posts on early morning rush. If people out here don't know, please go to Shivangi Manya's LinkedIn page and you would know all about what happens in a
Yeah.
mom's and a parent life
Yeah.
early morning.
Yeah. So I have a rule that
I promoted you enough.
anything that happens before 7:30 a.m. is all the child's fault.
Yeah, it's all the time.
उनकी गलती है.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Or anything later that happens is because everything happened before 7:30.
yeah, we are sorted. We are
Yeah.
evolved. I still remember this beautiful incident. See how it surfaces to the
Yeah.
top. Beautiful. I was mad at my daughter because she was late.
Elder
and
one.
the younger one.
Younger one.
And it was a very tense atmosphere. We were very late for the bus. There was no way we could catch it. And the car was not an option that day. She was tying her shoelaces and she was doing the best that she could. But I was
Losing it.
totally, and I was verbal about it. And I was a pain in the neck, frankly. But she still hadn't developed the guts to say, in fact, still hasn't developed the guts to say, Mom, enough. No. She was very kind and she was listening to me and she was at her task. And then my husband walked in and he bent down and started tying the other lace.
lace. Yeah.
And at that moment, I was like,
Died.
oh, am I the coach here, really? And this is how my family teaches me.
Yeah.
And I do understand. Now I'm going to another tangent. So when we are not kind to our children, it's because there's a physical lack of energy or there is an emotional lack of energy.
Yeah. You just frozen.
Yeah, frozen. But had I been physically extraordinarily fit, I would have picked her up her bag
Yeah.
and I would have run to the
Run
bus
to the
stop and
bus.
held the bus for her. But I don't have that kind of energy. So पेरेंटिंग क्या है? पेरेंटिंग ये लाइफ फोर्स एनर्जी है. आप में कितना धीरज है, आप में कितना पेशेंस है, आप में फिजिकल कितना स्टैमिना है. What happens when a 2-month-old
Absolutely.
puts your life upside down?
Yeah.
He's saying, be with it. This is the challenge, I'm
Yeah.
going to keep you up at night.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I'm going to cry. And then I'm going to fuss.
Yeah.
And then when you think I'm going to sleep, watch out. Anything can happen.
Anytime.
So where are you in this whole thing? How are you holding yourself together physically, mentally, emotionally?
Which is so true, Shivangi, and it's falling so much in place because this is the current conversation I'm having with Vyom, where he has taken upon himself the challenge to wake up 5 o'clock in the
Wow.
morning, go for strength training sessions.
Wow.
Now, every morning, of course, I'm waking him up. That's fine. And I'm like really waking him up because he just wants that another 10 minutes. But I know that he is setting himself for some
Yeah.
endurance task.
Yeah.
So he has mentally defined it. Now the body has to slowly align with it. So one day he doesn't go. Second day he blames me. Third day he blames himself. Fourth day there's something else. And fifth day today when he's collecting himself and I'm telling him, see, this is the only time now that you can wake up. Because if you do not, then it's not possible to go because you do have a school after that.
Yeah.
He wakes up, he gets ready, within 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. He has brushed, combed, changed, whatever. He's up. He's in his tracks and he's all upset with his, shoes on, with his water bottle and jacket. And he looks at me. He's like, "Chale, mama." And that moment, I froze, looking at the temperature outside. So it's like everything done, and I'm having that great feeling of victory. Ki finally, my son is out there. And then he says, "Chale, mama." And I know there will, of course, there'll be a day when I'll go with him, and then he'll say, "Bhage, mama."
I love that. Excellent. Excellent.
And really, I mean, being a parent, I think there is some wisdom when they say that ये चीजें time पे कर लो, because you will run out of energy and fuel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is why we parents, we often stumble. That is the reason why we feel that we are not doing our best as a parent. Because we are not ready. We weren't oriented.
Yeah.
We teach the way we've been taught. We
Yeah,
parent
because
the way
because
we've been brought up.
that 4-year-old or that 5-year-old or that 10-year-old wants to, take the weather by this thing, like
Collar and
say that let's do
let's
this.
do this.
Like my 7-year-old one would want that शाम को 7 बजे जब बिल्कुल ठंडी हवा चल रही है और it's a slapping you
Wow.
right and left, and he would
Wow.
say कि अब जैकेट पहन के ना अब साइकिलिंग करनी है मुझे.
Wow. Wow. What joy, no?
I don't
What
know.
a craze for life. What a craze for life.
What a craze for life. That's
Yeah,
what. Like,
yeah.
and he would, I mean, better still, अभी 2 दिन पहले दिल्ली में बारिश हुई है, तो he would say, अब तो अच्छा मौसम हो गया, and we are like, in our jackets and
Yeah.
shivering, even with the heaters on in the
Yeah,
room.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. We'll take a quick break here.
Yeah.
And we'll come back. So, if you would like to invite someone who is an unstoppable human or would just want to have a conversation with me, write to me at unboundwithmamta@gmail.com. That is unboundwithmamtaa@gmail.com. You can also follow my Instagram @Mamta Podcaster. That is MAMTAA Podcaster. So, Shivangi, again, I am very intrigued with your work, by your work, your style personally. But more than anything and everything, do you think people today are prepared to be parents? And why parenting coach? Should one be seeking one? Is it something that we are doing for the benefit of the generations ahead? Or is it something that we are doing to be our own better self, which perhaps our generations before could not do it? Like, thread it out for me.
Wow. Great question again. I think we all need a parenting coach, whether it is to parent our child or is it to parent our inner child. It's just that when it comes to our life, too much is always happening too fast. And our very natural impulse is to take action.
Yeah.
And it can be very unnerving for anyone to step back and just pause, catch your breath, and then go back into the situation again with a different strategy.
Yeah.
So, where a coach can come in is to tell you, listen, hang on, you're making all the right efforts, but just that it needs a bit of a perspective shift. And that's where a coach can just, it's like being a mirror to the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Also, I think as a society, we don't celebrate our small wins. How many people did you go to and tell them about how Vyom was so on point today for his practice?
Yeah.
So there is no,
Or even to him, for that matter.
yeah, there's no platform where we pat ourselves on the back, or there is no mechanism, there's no structured mechanism whereby a spouse can come and tell you, great job today with that. You really are good at parenting. No, it never really happens. So a coach is the one who can actually tell you, no, but shall I tell you what you did there was absolutely right.
Yeah.
So not only do you need a coach to weed out what is unnecessary, you need a coach to tell you what you're doing right. You need that reassurance that
Reassurance. Yeah.
I what I'm doing intuitively
Yeah.
is bang on.
Yeah.
And that level of understanding can only come from a distance.
Yeah.
So it has to be somebody who's not from the family, but from the same culture, who can understand. Um, I'll give you a small example. One of my clients was looking for a way to connect with their child. And the child came from a Sikh family. And I told them, why don't we go to the Gurudwara every Saturday?
Hmm.
So he said, we go.
Hmm.
I said, but is it something special that you do with him? So he said, no, I can do the Langar Seva.
Hmm.
And they both have bonded beautifully after that, because this child had a need for quality time with the father. The father has a very busy role as a
Hmm.
professional.
Hmm.
Had this been from another culture, probably this would not have been one of the many solutions that I
Yeah.
would give.
Yeah.
So, since we are in a very colorful country, we have options,
Yeah.
we have grounding rituals.
Yeah.
And I think a coach from the same culture can bring a lot of light
Yeah.
to what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. How can you navigate that?
Hmm.
How can you self-soothe yourself in the process?
Hmm.
A coach can tell you, all right, you might be taking a divorce right now and you think you've got everything covered, but hang on, this girl will grow up and in the next 5 years, she's going to have an image of a father, and the real world might not reflect that. So she goes into the world thinking that men are not to be trusted because they get married to you, have a baby, and
then
leave.
they leave. Yeah. Walk
So
over.
we are working on it that now. So preemptive action
Yeah.
is something that a coach can guide you on.
Yeah.
There are many factors.
Many set of questions, myriad questions, but I try to restrict and focus. Also, uh, in previous generations or the generations who've gone by, our parents, grandparents, haven't we seen this role been taken up by like somebody elderly in the family who's not so connected with your immediate yes and no, good and bad, but they can still from the circumference look at things and tell you that this may work for you in the longer run, or this may not work for you, from purely coming from that lineage of wisdom or experience. So are we also moving in this direction because now the families are becoming smaller, nuclear, the social fallback is not so much in place? Like, do you also see that to be a reason?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just adding to that, not only are we getting nuclear, our standards are increasing day by day. The mother wants to go for a Pilates class,
Yeah.
the father wants to play soccer, the boys have to participate in the school track competition.
Mm.
Uh, and you want to have pets too, and you want to make a presence felt at the school charity competition also, and you have guests coming in from Dehradun and you want to have a 7 course meal for them as well, and you want to vacation in the Maldives, no, not Maldives, you want to a vacation abroad as well. There are so many conditions that we have put on our own happiness, that what comes to the child is just pressure. If I have a checklist in my mind that I'm a coach and I have a podcast today, and then I have a meeting later on, and then I've got to do this, and I have nobody to fall back on to soothe
Good.
any
Yeah.
rift that I might have had with my child in that entire process of doing, when I come back home, what am I coming into? What am I inviting myself for? More rift.
Mm.
So, not only the size of the family matters, the fact that with we are slowly moving towards a society where we are very harsh on ourselves. Men, as in the
Yeah.
male being, have a very structured routine. It's very easy for them to get up at the same day every time, same time every
Every
day,
day. Yeah.
go to the gym, go to work, come back, help with the chores, read a book, and go to sleep, right? And they can do it 24/7, 365 for eternity. Women have phases. We are literally the moon.
Yeah.
So we go by the cycles. I have yet to meet a woman professional, a female professional, who says, no, today I'm going to just sit and watch television. It's my time with Netflix. The kids are at school. My husband is at work. We would probably be beating ourselves with a stick
Yeah.
by ourselves, by choice. And I think even if I would watch Netflix, I would want to write a LinkedIn post over it. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So we have to ebb and flow. And I think that is something which is very hard for us. We are too much fixated into our image of what we have to be like.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why parenting in this tinier setup
Yeah.
becomes very risky for the child.
Yeah. Two more things, good points, and of course explained very well, but especially in context to India, especially in context to current work-life balance, issues, gender equality at work, where you're fighting for equal rights and equanimity in the world with, the other gender people identifying as and all. And here you are a nurturer, a caregiver. Is the load more on the womankind by default, always, even when it comes to parenting?
Yeah. This is the part of the podcast where I get my husband on board. You got to listen to this. It's not that women do more, it's just that we have a mental load. We carry our burdens on our shoulders throughout the day, throughout the night, into any party that we walk into. Just because you're here sitting by my side, that doesn't stop you from being a mother right now in this moment. Men compartmentalize.
Yeah, totally disconnect.
Who better than you to say that? Yes. So when they're with activity number 1, they are there. And women are always thinking about the laundry while they're balancing the checkbook, while they're talking to somebody over the phone. I still remember when I was a young mom and I was working, I would come home at 7:30. I would be removing my bag while I would be removing my shoes, while I would be calling out to my daughters, while I would be greeting my mother-in-law. Simultaneously, I would be thinking, "Acha, ab khane mein kya banana hai?"
Yeah, true. So all your faculties.
Absolutely. We're drained. We are drained. We are not optimizing it. We're completely tired and exhausted, and there's nothing left to give.
It's like at the same time, हमारे मोबाइल के इंटरफेस पे 50 AI apps open है.
Yeah. The only thing is that you can, shut down
Shut
your
down.
laptop and you've done with this. This doesn't stop.
Stop.
And if nothing else, if there's nothing left to do, then we have guilt. It comes and gives us a warm hug. Hey, old friend, I missed you.
Shivani, only you can say that.
So I think we women take it very hard. We
For generations,
For
forever,
generations,
forever.
for
It's like a learnt behavior. We've acquired it
absolutely.
because we've seen it so well conditioned and percolated. Ye, like how you said, it's a legacy.
It's a legacy, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you find yourself like coaching more women, like more mothers.
I wouldn't say that. There
Yeah.
are fathers who feel the pinch too.
Yeah.
And they know something's missing, something's wrong somewhere. And many of them often feel hurt because they sense that biological connection between the mother and the child. But the father often feels left out too.
Yeah. True.
Another point that I would like to make, and it's a very general comment, Men see parenting as a problem to solve, and they like solving problems, and they don't mind taking the help, and they want to move on.
That he ho gaya.
Ho gaya. Women feel very embarrassed
Oh.
because parenting is traditionally something that they intuitively ought to be good at.
Yeah. Mothering.
Mothering.
Yeah.
Also, if I'm a homemaker and I have, say,
Yeah.
a child, and if somebody from the blue comes and tells me, "Oh, buddy, this is not how you parent. I'm going to tell you how." It's going to hurt somewhere
Yeah,
hard.
because that's the only thing they're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So fathers are more forthcoming in asking for help. And they can be very clinical about the process. On the other hand, mothers often vent. But once that verbal diarrhea gets offloaded,
Yeah. Then they're off.
then they are on their own, intuitively ready to take care of the child.
But isn't that what, I say it very often and it just comes like that what goes for you also goes against you.
Yeah, yeah.
That intuition thing where you are so self-driven, that maybe it is just a kickoff I wanted. Maybe there was a lot of emotional baggage and, a lot coming from the past or from my own guilt or resentment or things that I'm holding from other zones. And now that with the coach, I've done that work, I've cleaned that slate. So now I'm ready to move in the way that I am intuitively so
Yeah.
I'm driven to. And don't you think they will make better by doing that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
will.
देखो, अगर मदर नेचर को भरोसा नहीं होता ना, तो वो आपको मदर बनने ही नहीं देती. She's
Wow.
given you that responsibility. She
Super.
knows what she's doing.
Beautiful. That's why they say, na, mother's gut, Mother's gut. Yeah. Great. I just had one more question. Okay, you said that, this inspiration or that whatever, if you may call it a eureka moment or that transformation did happen when you heard that squeal of your child who was up there in the bathroom by herself. Appreciate your work, or do they keep bringing in the coach back into the mother? Do you project, do they project on you? How does it, because it's the same human, right? So how do you get through motherhood?
Wow. Oh, that's a big one. You saved the best one for the last, I guess. All right. So, the beauty of my job is that my children can relate to it. They often read a lot of what I've written. They've gone through book many times.
Do they overhear your sessions?
Yes, they do. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are snippets that I carry back to them,
Hmm.
and it becomes an open discussion
Yeah.
within the family. It is a very, it's a collective growth that I see.
Okay.
So
with
I
your
have-
work.
Yes. So there are quotes that I've written so that I can help build up a parent when they're down and out. And my daughter reads them, appreciates them.
Have they put some in
Yes,
their room and all?
Yes.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And what is very beautiful for me
So
is
you
that
are famous in your house.
I'm only famous in my house. And that too around dinner time.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to come to the dining table. I will come to the dining table.
So I guess so they have been able to, they are empathetic enough to pick up the nuances of what I do. And it's because they are extremely sensitive. And all of them think very independently. Yet there is a touch of sensitivity. So there are times when I say stuff and I forget it.
Yeah.
And then they come
They
back and
come
remind me.
Yeah.
So that is a very beautiful, I think, revisit for me that
Yeah,
happens.
It's kind of a resonance of your thoughts.
Absolutely.
That you do find in their behaviors.
Absolutely. And they can't escape it.
I don't think they would want to escape it. So, with the kind of deep transformative work that you've set yourself to, which can be so emotionally taxing, so emotionally unsettling, to maybe, like I say that when I walk into this episode, a moment before and a moment after, I'm not the same person. With every episode that happens, you
yeah.
know, or with anything in life also, with that one experience that kind of alters you and takes you to some other height. And you're
Yeah.
like, now I can't relate to the Mamta that I was
Yeah.
yesterday. I was saying it, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'm wrong
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So ह्यूमर कहाँ से आ जाता है इस सब के बीच में? How have you found that as an expression?
ये तो सोचना पड़ेगा. Okay. Because life is, I think we are all very foolish because, and I think we've all taken ourselves too seriously for a very long time.
Yeah, because जो कल तक हम बोल रहे हैं अब आज ही उस चीज को रिलेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं.
Because we've grown in the meantime,
Yeah.
and we've grown manifold. That's the reason that we can't relate. When you say a moment ago you weren't the same Mamta, you don't need that old Mamta now.
Yeah, true.
Now you need this newer, clearer version of Mamta.
Hmm.
And I think with each podcast, you will sift away whatever doesn't resonate with you.
Hmm.
So while you're doing a lot of good for the people around you, for the people you invite, for your audience, in a way, you're clearing the way for yourself and your
Absolutely.
spiritual growth.
Absolutely.
And we are benefiting from that process. We are benefiting from your journey. So that's that. And also, humor comes from this whole drama around parenting. It is funny
Hmm.
because we have 14 summers,
Okay.
and in some places maybe 16. We have 14 or 16 summers. That's it. Then we're pretty much off the hook for the next 20-25 years. And then too, we'll be like visiting faculty, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. तो 14, that's it. सिर्फ इसका गेम है.
So वो endless summer holidays नहीं
नहीं
है.
है. I can't forget that day. One parent complained to me, पूरे घर में हर जगह हाथ के निशान कर दिए हैं. बाहर से खेल के आता है और हाथ के निशान करता है. मैंने कहा एक दिन नहीं दिखेंगे. That's why it's so funny that we're so involved in the process of parenting. ऐसे खत्म हो जाएगा.
Wow. Wow. I think
Yeah.
that's really very, very profound, very deeply touching, resonates, and alerts you to the present moment too. I think. लेकिन मुझे अभी भी समझ नहीं आया कि ये जो एनेक्डोट्स को आप वो कॉमिकल्स लेंस से देखते हो तो कुछ ऐसी बेहतरीन कॉमेडी
हाँ.
थोड़ी सी आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इट अप लाइव ऑन द शो राइट
Sure.
नाउ maybe I'll just pick up the book
Yeah.
and churn some pages and see if we
Yeah.
can
Your style.
yeah my
Mamta
style my style that what is the guidance of the day and see what comes
Yeah,
up.
sure.
So, for those of you who don't know, Shivangi writes very, very regularly on LinkedIn and otherwise also, and she just captures life in a very, fun and what should I say, a light-hearted way, where she throws light on various anecdotes that passes her through and how she gets through her motherhood journey. So, in the words of famous psychologist Dr. Shefali, why are you so attached, Ma, to the dress I vomited on? Why are you attached, Dad, to the laptop I threw off the table? Willpower and good intentions prove useless. Inner work is the way forward. Oh my God. And you had to say it like this. Tell me a little more. What compels you to look at it in such a...
कोई पेरेंट कभी सुबह उठ के ये नहीं सोचता कि आज मैं गुस्सा करूंगा.
True.
हम ये सोचते नो टुडे आई एम गोइंग टू बी
Angry.
good.
I'm going to be an angry
Yeah.
parent.
Yeah, we all really, really
Yeah.
want to do the best that we can. But imagine if you are at the railway station and I
Hmm.
say, Mamta, run, the train is here.
Hmm.
You'll run, right? But if you have two suitcases,
Yeah.
this is all your past psychic impressions. In fact, our past psychic impressions hold us back from being that compassionate parent to our child.
Mm-hmm.
And our children are just throwing a flashlight,
Yeah. True.
reminding us ki don't be so hard on me, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Let's have an ice cream. Literally.
Let's have an ice cream. I love that. I love the way you put those finishing touches, Shivangi.
Yeah.
I think your journey as an author, or as an author, is just it's kind of a seal and a stamp to the great work that is in the making. अभी तो पिक्चर अभी बाकी है. मेरे ख्याल से ये एक flashlight है
Huh.
जो your own journey has thrown, which is
Thank
your
you.
book Parenting Pickles and Popsicles. I'm going to definitely give this a read, and I promote it wholeheartedly for all the parents who want to be a healed child
Yes.
and who just want to be good parents
And enjoy life.
enjoy
with
life
their
in
children.
the process.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
I'll probably pick up one more. या मेरे को बताओ ना आपका कोई एक ऐसा incident
I'll
बताओ
do it
ना.
Mamta style.
Yeah, okay, you do it my style.
I love this. Okay, ready, steady, go.
This is the way I read books. Honestly, I don't have the patience to flip through pages and pages.
I think this is a very beautiful ending. My
Yeah.
best friend gifted a drum set to my daughter on her birthday. How can one woman do this to another?
True. My child is a drummer, by the way.
So I think I was an avid reader.
Yeah.
And once I became a mother, I just stopped reading. And then I reached out to people over time. See, the minute you have a baby, you become an island.
Hmm.
You're so consumed with just survival
Yeah.
that you stop reaching out to people. And then as I found my footing again, as I reached out to other mothers, I realized nobody was able to read.
That is so true.
It's
And I
not that-
thought it's specific to
No,
me.
no, everybody.
It's like some
everybody.
attention deficiency that happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it was scary. It was unsettling because
Yeah.
now how do I get my knowledge? How do I
Yeah.
grow?
Yeah.
And my eldest one is 13 and my youngest one is 10 right now. I have recently started reading with renewed passion.
Yeah.
And do you know what came up to me when I sat with the first book?
Hmm.
Every mother runs around triggered. Every young mother.
Yeah.
बच्चा घिर तो नहीं जाएगा?
Yeah. Yeah. All sorts of thoughts.
ठंड तो नहीं लग जाएगी?
Yeah. Yeah.
खाना तो खा लिया ना?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if she's in a restful space, even if the
Yeah.
child is in a very
Comfort.
calm, settled
Yeah.
state,
Yeah.
there will be some kind soul coming and saying, अब इसको खाना खिला दो, time हो गया.
Yeah.
So a mother's mind, a mother's brain is frankly always triggered. And how can you use the prefrontal cortex
Yeah.
to process and digest information when your downstairs brain is like in a tizzy?
Yeah.
When your amygdala is running all over the
Yeah.
place, your hormonal system is gone for a toss. How can you sit and read and with patience? Something that requires you to be. It's so hard. You have to step into the shoes of the author. How do you do that?
do that.
And that is why I often tell mothers, it's okay. Don't read books.
Yeah.
Go to podcasts.
Come to podcast. I am feeling so less guilty and unburdened. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shivangi. I still have a rapid reflex round though. But this has been my dilemma. Last 10 years, I have not been able to, and like I just said, that this is the way that I've started reading now. That
Yeah.
okay, let me just read. And the one of the latest memes that I read into is this it's a graphic meme where this mother having one child in her arm and the other one like at her leg, literally tearing her apart and running all the errands of her house in the background and attending to a phone call and saying, can I please call you back in 5 years? And quite incidentally, I read it with my mother and we were just splitting, and that is
Yeah.
what life is. I
Yeah.
think while you get so consumed and
Yeah.
busy and do what you got to do,
Yeah.
Do keep giving yourself this dose of comedy that life offers. But before I still call it a wrap, I think I'm going to do this really super fast with you. You're an
Interesting.
author. This is just a play of words. So this is a last end, like a tail end of the show. It's called the rapid reflex round. It's my personal favorite. Nothing, just top of the mind answers to the questions that I'm throwing at you.
Do I get time to think or
Not at all. No, I mean,
let me be?
yeah, please
Oh.
breathe through them. So, are you ready for this, Shivangi?
Yes, absolutely.
Life to you is just complete this sentence in one word or a sentence.
A puzzle.
Puzzle. Parenting to you is
A very noble responsibility.
all right. The first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning.
Oh God, आज भी late.
वो तो मेरा किस्सा है. All right. The last thing that is a must for you to do at the end of the day.
चल ओहो आज भी अलार्म रखना छोड़. आज भी अलार्म नहीं रखा.
Very wicked. Travel to you is.
A breath of fresh air.
Food to you is.
A celebration.
Family to you is.
Everything. Everything.
Comfort to you is.
Being very, very quiet within myself.
Space to you is. I want my space.
Having somebody listen to me very non-judgmentally.
Okay. Purpose to you is.
Irrelevant, frankly.
Passion.
Everything that I do, even the clerical job, everything is a passion.
Passion.
Yeah.
Okay. Never have you ever.
Cliff jumping.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to ever.
Ever. Never will you ever. If not a parenting coach, Shivangi will be, or the current work that you're doing, then you will be.
If I could get a pass, I would love to be an astronaut.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I wouldn't come back quickly though.
Yeah, you do look like Kalpana Chawla. You do have those. Yeah. Interesting. And your mother to you is.
A guide for life.
Your daughters to you is.
A hope for the future.
Yeah. What does your mental well-being means to you?
Okay, that time at the night when everybody's jumping on the bed, no one wants to sleep, but the lights are off, and externally we are telling the kids to go to bed, but internally we are loving the madness.
That's mental
that is
well-being.
that is
Oh,
that
wow.
is my mark.
Oh, very beautiful. Latest Netflix series that you watched?
Ozark, I think.
Okay. One book that has inspired you the most?
How to listen so children talk.
Talk.
I
Yes.
love
Yes.
that one.
All
I
right.
love that one.
And love to you is?
Giving,
Happiness is?
laughing loudly.
All right. With that, we do come to the end of the
Thank
show.
God,
Thank
that's
you
scary.
for truly being unbounded, from
Thank
truly,
you.
letting your
Thank you.
authentic self be at its
Thank you.
best play. And
Thank you.
we've really loved every part, bit, piece of this episode. And we wish you unbounded success.
Thank you.
We wish you many, many more books.
Thank you.
And we wish you many more metamorphoses,
Thank
many
you
more
so much.
seasons, many more moons and suns.
Thank you so much.
So thanks so much for being who you are.
Cool. And is it okay if I say a couple of lines for you?
Absolutely, you must.
So, Mamta, I just believe that you're so meant to do this. You have the voice, the vocabulary, and the mental bandwidth to carry this. You are healing people by the minute as they listen to you. You can bring people to rest, to a calm space, just by the power of your voice. And you're using it for the good, and you're enjoying that journey.
Absolutely.
And you're bringing in a whole influx of creativity. You're helping people transmute their thoughts. And you made a coach think today. My God. Thank you so much for
It's a
having me. It was a
complete
pleasure.
honor. It's truly a joy. This is my passion.
I can
Thank
see
you.
that.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And for all the episodes, you can come back to Unbound with Mamta, now available on 20 plus audio streaming platforms: Spotify, Amazon, Ghana, iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever else you get your audio. So keep unbounding together.